So I recently got in a discussion with a young lady at the gym who I know. She's kind of on the, I would say, liberal Democrat side of whatever ideology she chooses to partake in. And I forgot how this came up, but she said something, and I said, well, I don't really buy all of that stuff about, the science of something. I forget how it came out. She said, something about, it wasn't vaccines or anything like that, but that came into question. She said, why would people that have gone to school for years, almost decades, and blah, 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 lie to you about stuff? And like, what would be the great, grand, whatever about that they would do all that? Wouldn't you trust people that would? I said, no, I wouldn't trust people because people are inherently fucking evil. And I said, I don't trust the pharmaceutical industry, do you? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, well, that's up to you. I go by this. The Bible says, trust no man. And there's a reason why the pharmaceutical industry, has a snake and a snake with wings. They didn't just come up with that out of a fucking hat. Do you know what I mean? As a symbol of what they're doing. So I go, these people, I'm not saying all science is junk or whatever, but I said, I've gotten sick from a vaccine. I said, I've never, that I know of, gotten COVID. I would never even get tested for it. And she said, really? And I said, no. I said, I'm not putting something. I go, why would I put something up my fucking nose, okay, into my whatever, when we used to just go, put something on the back of our tongue for like strep throat or whatever. And she's like, well, because it shows that. I go, yeah, that's what they're saying. I go, listen, you can believe whatever you want. I respect whatever, but she was completely like almost mortified that somebody would just have such a lack of like what she would consider fundamentally understanding of basic science and the literature and all of the blind tests that I said, listen, man, that shit, I said, money, okay? Money corrupts everybody. I said, if science was so great, why is the shit in food and Monsanto, the weed killer and shit, and dementia and all of this shit? I go, that shit isn't fucking just coming out of the earth. That shit's coming out of the fucking science department. I said, that shit's all man-made. And she said, oh, you really think that? And I said, well, Alzheimer's wasn't around when I was 10 years old. There was a time when there wasn't cancer. He's over this video. It's only been 3 minutes, Chubbs. It's only been 3 minutes. I'm taking you home. It's a little chilly out here today. I said, there was a day and time on this earth that there wasn't cancer. And you think that shit just appeared naturally? And she didn't have any answers for that. I said, listen, man, I don't need you to agree with me. I don't need you to believe in God. I don't need you to do anything that I do. You know what I mean? You're allowed to do, and people are allowed to think on here or wherever in real life and whatever differently about whatever they want to think about. You don't have to fucking agree with me. You know what I mean? Like, I look at people and go, as long as you ain't hurting children or animals or women or anything like that, you can do whatever you want, lady.